Hello, welcome to my 5minutedigest.com tutorial for this week from Experts Learning Web. Today, you will be learning how to use the verb s'appeler, which is to be called, to communicate in French. Today, you will be learning how to communicate with the verb s'appeler, which is to be called. And here we have je m'appelle, I am called, tu t'appelles, you are called, il s'appelle, he is called, elle s'appelle, she is called. Nous nous appelons, we are called, vous vous appelez, you are called, il s'appelle, they are called, elle s'appelle, they are called. And the ENT is always silent. If I want to say I am called Arnold, I will say je m'appelle Arnold. Now I want to introduce John-C and Dina. I will say il s'appelle John-C et elle s'appelle Dina. Here it means he is called John-C and she is called Dina. Here you will be learning how to ask a question using comment, which is how. If I want to ask the question, how am I called? I will say, comment je m'appelle. If I want to say, how are you called? I will say, comment tu t'appelles. And if I want to ask, how is he called? Comment il s'appelle? How is she called? Comment elle s'appelle? How are we called? Comment nous nous appelons? How are you called? Comment vous vous appelez? And how are they called? Comment il s'appelle or comment elle s'appelle. Take note, tu is you and vous is also you. Tu is informal and vous is formal, meaning when you're on a call in a professional setting, you must use vous. But for adolescents or teenagers, you can use tu. Below, we have je m'appelle Arnold if the question was comment tu t'appelles. But if it is an adult, you will use comment vous vous appelez, also in a formal setting. Below, we have il s'appelle Jean-C et elle s'appelle Dina if the question was comment il s'appelle or comment elle s'appelle. Good. But take note, you can also ask comment il s'appelle with the ILS, which is how are they called? And the answer is going to be il s'appelle Jean-C et elle s'appelle Dina. Good. In the next slide here, you will be learning how to confirm identity using est-ce que. So here we have est-ce que tu t'appelles Paul? Are you called Paul? Est-ce que vous vous appelez Monsieur Paul? Are you called Mr. Paul? You can see the difference between the tu and the vous. For the tu, we do not add a title, but for the vous, we do. Now, here, because il starts with a vowel and elle starts with also a vowel, we cannot use est-ce que, but we will use est and put an apostrophe to show that the e was omitted. So it becomes est-ce qu'il s'appelle Paul or est-ce qu'elle s'appelle Paul? And the answer can be oui, which is yes, il s'appelle Paul, or il s'appelle Finn, or non, elle ne s'appelle pas Clara. She is not called Clara. Here we have Madame Kefir introducing herself and her team by saying, bonjour, je m'appelle Kefir, je m'appelle Madame Kefir. Je vous présente Louis, Tom, et Esther. Here, Madame Kefir is using the expression je vous présente to introduce Louis, Tom, et Esther. Here, the customer care agent is using the expression est-ce que to confirm the identity of Madame Lizo by saying bonjour, je m'appelle Monsieur Codor. Est-ce que vous vous appelez Madame Lizo? And she said, oui, monsieur. And the customer care agent said, d'accord. You can see how helpful the verb s'appeler is in expressing yourself and to introduce yourself and others. You can review the video over and over again. My name remains William, and here are my credentials, including the website where you can find more tutorial about our weekly digest. Bye. Au revoir.